So if you hear typing in the background, it's because Shannon is typing and helping you guys order your classes for our upcoming events. We have to let her work, but we're going to film while she does. So let's get started. All right, guys, this is our 1-inch folio, our 1-inch spine folio. Remember where we started. This is how far we've gotten. If you did not see part 1, we'll link that for you. Isn't this super cute and super easy? And today I'm going to do something really, really fun. I'm going to put a piece right here that is magneted in and removable. Like, I'm really into these removable parts. And here's what I'm going to use. This is the 49 & Market Create-In album that she just brought out. You get 2 of these little 4x6 waterfall enclosures in this set. And we're going to use one today. Let me show you. So this is the piece. Now it comes flat, and all you have to do is fold this score line at the top and fold this score line at the bottom. That's it. And it is completely a waterfall made for you. Now you'll obviously want to fold these 2 to get them going, but you don't have to glue or do anything. It is done for you. So we're going to utilize it. Now what I want it to do is I want to have it live here and magnet out of the book altogether. So if I just want to have a brag book I can take out, or if I want to take this out while we're looking at the book and let somebody look at it while we're doing this, I think that'll be fun. So that's what we're going to do. So to start with, I need something here to hide my bottom magnets. Let me show you what I've picked. Okay, so this is my plan. Check out this cute little cut apart. My thought is I would glue this to this little backer piece and put this guy here, right? And this will hide my bottom magnets. Now, let me show you what's so cool about it. My little booklet will fit right over that cut apart. So when we remove it from here, there'll be something behind it. I think that'll be cute. And looking at it, I think I could, well, let me get this closed up a little bit because it's not exactly closed correctly. When I put the closure on here, it'll hold it well. But see, I think that'll be just enough that we might even see the green all the way around it. So that's what I'm thinking. So what we'll do first is we will glue this page to the green backer because that's just going to be my little edge around the image. I've seen people doing these little magnet removing elements, and I think they're so cute. So I just want to do one for you guys. Also, I wanted to make sure I showed you what I meant when I tell you that these little elements from 49 & Market are something you should keep in your stash, because when you're doing these kind of projects, you can just glue them in. Just put them into anything you're doing, and it's fantastic. All right, let's take a couple of magnets. So these are my basic gray magnets. They're a plus and a minus. I'm going to take off a plus. I got to remember I got magnets in that door. They'll probably fly over there right here, this little flap. So take off a minus and a minus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to put my minus on yet. I'll leave it over here to the side. And I'm just going to put the plus on, and you'll see why. Okay, I'm going to take the backer off, and my plan is to put a magnet toward the top. Not too far, though. I want to keep it where I know it'll be on my book as well. So put a magnet there. And let's put one about here at the bottom. So just one, remember. All right, and we'll do that right there. And then this guy's going to get glued like this with those magnets behind. Okay, before I glue it, I just want to check and make sure. Okay, remember this? I showed you this before. When I do this, my adhesive gets on the other side. It's not on the correct side. So I'll just need to use sticky tape here. I can put it on myself and it won't be a big deal. I'll show you. And we'll just hide that in, and then my magnets will work just fine. There's probably another way to do it, and you're probably yelling it at me, but honestly, this is just how my brain works, so it's how I'm going to do it. So putting a little piece of sticky tape back here. And then I will reveal that. I'll just slide any of that that's hanging off into it. Okay, so that's where it's going to live. I haven't glued it down yet. Okay, then what I'm going to do is take my little booklet and go ahead and pick that up. So I just want to line it up pretty centered. Just like this. And I'm going to pick those magnets up off the back. Perfect. And then I'll stick them down. I'll reach in here and get my fingers where I can squish. So see, isn't that going to be neat? And then, of course, I'm going to cover this. I'll peel this off and use it to my advantage, too. So now you see what's going to happen. So let's glue this in. Now, if you want to put anything around it or behind it, now's the time. I don't think I'm going to. I might come back and do something later. I think this will be so cute. Now, because this is going to get mostly wear and tear, I'm going to make sure around these magnets I give it plenty of glue. And I'm going to press it in really good as well. So a lot more than I would normally use. Not thicker, just more glue. put that down just like this. Now, one thing to remember when you're doing magnets, if you're putting magnets in other parts of the album, you have to be mindful that they don't fight with each other. So just think about that. If I were to do something inside here that had magnets, I'd have to remember if these didn't like it, it might levitate. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure, unless you want a levitating album, which might be a thing. All right, so now when we get this one decorated, look, it'll live right there, and it's gonna live in the middle of our, isn't that cute? And then when we're opening the album and we're looking through, say we got somebody sitting next to us, and we can say, here, look at these while we look at this. Oh, I love it, I love it. Okay, let's get this guy covered. Let's start with covering the back of our little album. I normally wouldn't do this, but because this is gonna be a removable element, I wanna make sure that the back is just as cute as the front. So remember I told you I'd peel that sticky off so that they'd stay in there really nice? We might as well use it to our advantage. So get that peeled off, and then we'll add glue. I'll put glue on here. And then this is gonna live just like this in the back. Super cute. And you see how I spend a little time kind of burnishing that? The good thing about wet glue is it kind of makes your paper give a little bit, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that gets glued all the way down. You can totally use sticky tape here if you're not sure about your glue, but I just use the glue, and that works great. I have a little strip cut for here. Let's go ahead and put that down. Y'all are going to see that I made the most of this little buffalo check page. You won't believe how many places I'm able to use it. And I really like it because it's my favorite pattern. So whenever I'm making an album that I can use my favorite pattern over and over again, it makes me enjoy my album even more. Now I've got one for at the top here. Just go ahead and do this while it's all flat. So you see that these corners are rounded. I've got this piece cut to size, but if I don't round the corners, I get kind of the opposite look that I want. You know, I get the square against the corner. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use the 1/2 inch side. Make sure it's open. And you might prefer the floral. I'm gonna use that check. I told you I'm gonna get the most of it. All right, so I've got that little piece down. Now I'm gonna cover this piece as well. Again, rounding the appropriate corners. All right, for our closure, this kit comes with our brads and our little round pieces, and we just need to install them. And here's how we're gonna do that. We're gonna take that little round piece, and I'm gonna use it as a template. Now, I don't want it hanging off the edge. I've got string that came in the kit, so I've got plenty of string to be able to tie this together. So I just wanna center this so that it'll look nice on the front here. I think I'm gonna go about right there, and I'm gonna make a pencil mark so I'll know where to poke a hole. Okay, to poke my hole, I'm gonna use my pokey tool. The reason for this is I find with brads, the smaller the hole, the better, unless you want your brad to spin. I don't want my brad to spin, and that's why I wanna do this, because I won't get a super large hole. I'll get one just big enough for the brad, and that way it'll hold still. So just doing a test run to make sure that's big enough, and it is. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll take our little circle. Tell you what, let's do, before we lose everything here, let's put our little brad in. I love that these kits come with these, so you don't have to keep brads in your stash. Everything is included, is so good. All right, so we put that in like that, and then we're gonna flip this over and close this down. Now this will get hidden behind our next decorator paper, so this is fine. Look how cute that is, isn't it cute? Now we wanna do one on the front. So I'm just gonna close this up and kinda get my mark for where I want it. And I think right there is a cute spot. Right in the center of that little bit of plaid. So let's just make a pencil mark, open this up, and do that same hole poking that we just did earlier. Gonna open it up on the back, and again, this will get hidden when we decorate the page. Okay, let's put our string on here and go ahead and do a test. So I'm gonna take one end of it and I'm gonna tie it to this one at the bottom. Okay, so I just tied a knot there. And I can trim that little string off that's extra. And then this one will then go up, and we'll put it underneath this piece. And you can figure 8 it if you want to, so you can wrap it and wrap it and wrap it. I don't know that I will figure 8 it. I may just circle it. But we have to get it started for this to all kind of fill in the gap here. So that's gonna work just fine to be our little closure. And I think I will come back and trim this that little bit off that's showing there. All right, so now I'm gonna open this guy up and cover the back. So that's my little booklet. I'm not gonna add extra paper to these. I'm just gonna put this for photos. I think that'll be super cute, and I'll close this up and we can magnet it in our page. So we'll open our album and go to that inside section, and this guy, watch this. He just lives there now. Isn't that cute? When you stand it up, he stays. I just love that. And we can take him out for looking at later. Love him. That's my favorite thing so far. All right, let's do some covering or some decorating and adding some photo spots. So for my photo spots, I'm going to use the stamp set called Picture Perfect. I'm going to use this frame, the word that says place photo here, and 3x4. I decided to do a lot of 3x4 pictures in this little folio. I think it'll be cute. Now, I went to my bin that holds my white scraps, and I found any pages that I could cut down to 3x4. That's a great way to use up scrap. That's the only place I went. I didn't cut a full page at all, so I was able to get a bunch of those. And then I'm going to use my Ink Bandit, which holds my ink when I'm doing mass producing, so I don't have to close my ink pad every time. So I've got that laying there, and I'm going to ink up my stamp, which I've already placed on the Misty. And I'm going to send this over here. Move that a little bit. I got it a little too close, and I can press that down with my impressible, and I love how these turn out. So this will be one. We'll do another one. Isn't that cute? Place photo here, 3x4. So the recipient will know exactly what size photo to place there. So we'll do that again. So you see how I love the Ink Bandit because I don't have to close my ink pad every time or sit it down and get the ink on my fingers. I just drop it onto the rubber bands, and it works fantastic. By the way, any of the supplies I'm using today, if you're interested, we have them in our store, and we'll have that linked below for you guys. There's another one. Okay, so like I said, I did like 20, so I just did a couple for you here on camera. Okay, so one thing I like to do is whenever it's time to mat our little photo mats, they look best in your album when you put a little color around them so they'll pop off the page. But don't go to your full sheets of paper for this. Go to your scrap bin first. You'll be surprised how many pages you have that will match your paper pack. And something I like to do, this is just a little tip, I like to come in here and find a page that's got most of the colors from the paper pack on it, and then I just use it to help me find my photo mat colors from my scrap bin, okay? So that's what I did. I just found as many photo mat scrap sizes that I could cut down to 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 so I could mat these guys. And that includes your pattern items. If you have something patterned from another paper pack, this is actually from, I don't know, something floral, but it was in my scrap bin and it's gonna work, so we're gonna use it. So then I just glue these guys together and we can start placing them in the book. So you see here how many I have. It's like a deck of cards, right? I was able to get a lot all from my scrap bin. Like I said, even the pattern papers will work just fine. So let's place these in our album. So you have a lot of real estate here, a lot of places to put photos, because remember, not only do we have this section, we have this one, and this opens again, right? Then we have photos inside of here. This opens, okay, and it flips back this way. So there's lots of places for photos. Let's start right here. The reason I like the 3x4s is I really wanted just kind of a lot of pictures on a page. I didn't want to have just one photo on every page. I wanted multiples, right? So this is what I thought I would do. I don't think I like that craft there. Let me find a different color. Maybe this pink. Yeah, that's cute. So what I thought I would do was just make this kind of a 3x4 album, and all of my little photo mats will be that size, and I'm going to glue these down. Now later, I'll go to my ephemera pack and my stickers, and I'll come back and decorate around these guys, and it will be super easy. I'm really doing this album very clean and very simple. I'm not wanting to do any kind of over-the-top decorating, and the reason for that is at our recent event, at our Craft Acropolis we had in the spring, I was able to spend some time with different crafters doing things in different ways, and I got to see a lot of their albums before they were completed, like at the kind of at the midway point. And there's something about that clean crispness at the middle of the process. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, that's what I want to do here. I want this to be clean and crisp and just focus on the photos, okay? So I'm going to run through and glue photo spots down, and we'll get right back together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my cut apart page. I'm going to make a couple of little photo booklets to put in my big pocket that I've got at the front. So I'm just going to cut that off and cut these guys apart. But I want to cut them apart in sets of 2, okay? This is a really cute one. This is a really cute one. Like if I did it like this and fold this in half, it's a booklet. Same here. I think I'm going to do this one and this one. So here's what I'm showing. Here's what I mean. So I'm going to cut this section off at the bottom. Although this can be a booklet as well, because I can do it, you know, this way, and that can still be a photo booklet. See how these just make an instant like place for journaling and photos, and it's just perfect, right? These guys, what I think I'm going to do is cut it like this, so I can have 2 more booklets that go this way. So I will need to score these, but I'm just doing it to show you. So this little booklet would look like this, and it would have photos inside. Won't that be cute? Or it could look like this and have photos inside, ever how you lay it in the book. So I still have photo mats left that I made. So what I'm gonna do is put some inside of here so I can have little photo mats in my little booklets as well. Now you might decide you don't want this many photos. You might decide you want some journaling spots. You can do the same thing, just don't stamp for a photo, just leave that blank. Or we have another stamp set that has the lines. Let me show you. We have this stamp set, which is called Prompted Album, that has the journaling lines, and that works really good for stamping on these white cardstocks right there, so people can journal there if they would like. So now we can go back to our big pocket in our folio and slide our little photo books in. And that right there is 6 photos in that little spot, just like that in that little booklet. Isn't that cute? All right, we need to work on the cover and adding some ephemera, but I want to show you where we're at. Look how many photos this guy will hold. I'll give you a count at the end. I'll do a count of all of them and show you, but look how many pictures. All right, let's go to our stickers and our ephemera, and let's decide what's going on the cover. So if you've never seen an ephemera pack before, I want to show you what this is. Most of the paper packs come with ephemera, which is pre-cut die pieces that match your paper. Look how cute all these pieces is. It does a lot of work for you through the album, on the album. You can use it for the cover. You can use it for pieces to stick in pockets and things like that. I just think this is really cute. I wanted to show you what this was, and we're going to utilize it along with our stickers to decorate the rest of the album. Okay, for the cover, this is how I do this a lot of times. I really don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to play. I love these 2 pieces, and I think somehow I can work these together. What I'm going to do is just film my process, and then when I'm done, I'll kind of do a quick walkthrough of what I did, so you can watch me do it, and then we'll both find out what I do at the end, because I really don't know. So let's get started. All right, guys, check it out. Here's what I did. Now, I got to be honest. I was struggling with this cover a little bit, but now I think it's one of my favorite I've ever done. It was super fun. And bonus, I sang Summer Lovin' the whole time. It was in my head the whole time. So what I did was I found a piece that I thought would break up some of the plaid behind so that the stuff I put on would kind of show. And then I used a little wave punch. I love this punch. I think this was super cute and perfect for summer. And then notice how I put frames around the pieces that I cut. You would have noticed in the time-lapse video that if you don't do that, they kind of just drop into the background and you don't see them. But as soon as you frame them, and this one I even popped up on some foam, it really makes it show off well. And then down here, I wanted my barbecue girl to show, and I want to show you something I did on purpose. Okay, I put my little torn sand down here, my little paper with the tear, and see where I put this girl right over that sun? I was going to put it beside it, but when I did, it made the grill kind of sink into the background. It got too busy, so I went right over the sun and made sure that little face wasn't showing so it wouldn't take away from my grill. Added some flip-flops to the sand, and then the little clouds. Now, did you see how I cut these apart? This cloud, I cut a section off, which I put right here, so that my clouds would stagger. And I also edited this sticker. It was too wide, so what I did was I cut the signs off and I moved them in, and that way I could use it on my little spine there. I love this cover. Now we need to go inside. Now what I'm gonna do in here is I'm gonna run through, this is gonna be a very quick process. I'm gonna run through and I'm gonna add ephemera. Now let me show you a tip for adding ephemera before I get started. Let's say I decide to add this little image here. I wouldn't, it's too big for this picture, but let's say I did. What you wanna do when you're adding your ephemera is you wanna make sure that you leave it open for a picture to go behind. So when you glue this down, I would only glue here and here. Do you see that? So I would glue two sides, leaving one side open, so whenever the recipient gets it, they can slide their photo in and stick it down to the back side. So again, this is too big, but I wanted to tell you that. So as I go through, that's what I'll be doing. If you see me gluing them to the side like this, it is because I'm doing that little two-sided glue. And what you can do, I'm not gonna do it right here because I don't know what piece is going here. You can always just apply the glue here and then put the piece on top, and you know your glue's in the right spot. All right, so I'm gonna run through and around all my photos, do that. All right, guys, here you go. Let me show you what we got so far. So when we open this guy up and we head inside, notice there's still a lot of places that need decorating, but I have learned from doing my folios, it is best to save some pieces for after you put pictures in, because there will always end up something that you can use. Like, for example, let's say I put a picture here and then one of these little words like summer memories or pool party is perfect for it. It could live here, or I could put other little things here. And I didn't use my plaid this time, this long sticker. Normally I would put like that long sticker on there, but I feel like the plaid versus the plaid, I know, even for me, it's a little much. I know you are shocked. But I do like to save some of those for after I put my photos in. And we're just talking, this may be Shannon's album that she uses for her beach trip this year. And if so, that'll give her some stuff to play with too, because she didn't get to really put her spin on this because I did it. But you can see how I just added little things. One thing I really enjoyed in this album was these pieces from the ephemera. I just put glue in the middle and stuck them down. So now a picture can go under either side, top or bottom, super easy. So anytime you see this, just glue in the middle and left those sides open. This little guy, I did the front and I thought this would be cute. What if you had a day at the pool? Wouldn't it be cute that this was the whole album for a day at the pool? And then when you took it out, you remember it's magnetized. Remember that you could have just the little brag book for the day at the pool. I thought that would be cute. And everywhere else, I just added little cutesies. Again, when you give this to whoever, if you're giving it as a gift, if you're keeping it for yourself, finish it with your extras when you put your pictures in. I'm very happy with the cover. I really do like that. I don't mind finishing the cover because that's easy and there's no pictures there. But I think if you give yourself a little bit of blank space, it's a lot more fun when you put your pictures in later. And even when you give this as a gift, because it's so cute to package this with extra stickers and extra ephemera. That's such a cute gift. And maybe put a little instruction of, you know, what you're supposed to do with that. So there you go, guys. That is our 1-inch folio. I gotta be honest, I really like it. I really like it. I think it is, it's very meaty. It feels like something you would purchase. Like, it doesn't feel like something that I just made. It feels like a kit that I would have purchased, and we did this with just 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Love how it turned out. All right, you know the deal. If you make one, I want to see it. Head to 2 places, our customer gallery at MaymayMadeIt.com. But more than that, go to our Facebook group. Join our group so I can see what you're doing and you can see what everybody else is doing and kind of make some crafty friends over there. Our Facebook group is Maymay Made It, and so did I, and we look forward to seeing you over there as well. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd love for you to hit that little red button and even the bell to let YouTube give you notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and that lets me and everybody else know that this is one worth watching. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate you. And until next time, bye now.